had I my shit together a bit more and I planned these things out a little better, I probably would have done this beer a week or so ago. But as it is, I don't have my shit together, so... Ta-da! I've not touched any Brewdog beer since the whole Aldi fake Punk IPA comparison. And that was my first Punk IPA for a while, and I was like, what happened here? So I've kind of been skirting around them, but I saw this in El Supermarkito, and decided, yeah, alright, we'll give this a go. Historically, Brewdog have done strong beers very well. There was one they did not so long ago, Brew by Numbers, I think it was called, and it came in like a thimble and it cost £100 or something along those lines. All the other beer reviewers did it, and I was just like, I'm gonna sit this one out. Mr. President has been around for a while as a beer. I think it first came out as sort of like a tongue-in-cheek reference to the Trump administration, so it seems appropriate now that it should have ended, suing the US notwithstanding. If that actually goes, it won't go through, but just imagine if it did. That's just a coup at this point. Also, I should probably talk about some of the political things that I said a couple of videos ago, referring to Trump as, what was my exact word? A cunt. I'll take it back. I pissed a couple of people off with that. I don't care. If somehow you ended up on my channel and you're like a staunch Trump supporter, I have no issue with you going away. He's a thoroughly unpleasant man. He just lies and cheats all the time. He's, if nothing else, dishonourable as a person. And his rhetoric and everything else is just insanely dangerous. And this is how we get into worrying situations, let's just put it that way. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the orange one, we're here to talk about this purple beer. I've got to say, actually, design-wise, I'm loving the purple and the silver. I think that looks really nice. They did fuck up a little bit here, though, because you see how that label is? That's the front of the bottle there. You can tell because these new bottles, they put crests on the front and on the back. So if they screw up, like they have done here, that's quite off. Like, logos here, front of the labels here. Yeah, so I noticed that, and I thought, well, that's quite funny. It doesn't matter, I'm just saying, you know, if you're one of these perfectionists that's like, oh, the label has to be on right, then... Right, just pour this into my chalice. Yeah. It's amazing what you can pick up for 50p at a charity shop, isn't it? Right, so, it's a dark amber colour. Loads of bubbles in there, really tight, not really dissipating. Nice strong head. Wahey. And it's not really going anywhere. I'm already getting like quite a malty aroma coming off of this. Ooh, oh, that smells good. That smells like the business. Do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna say it's sort of orange. Call back. Okay, right. Enough with the Trump bashing. Although I could go all day. Unlike him. That poor woman. Okay, it's got a really piney, resinous kind of a nose. It doesn't talk about what hops are in it. To be fair, it doesn't have much to say for itself, actually. This one in particular is notable in the absence of its marketing bullshit. All it says is, it's got this little like crest around it, saying, "United we stand for better beer, fiercely defiant and independent," and then on the back it just says, "This is DEFCON 1, and then that's it. 9.2% vegan, but that's it. That's all the information we've got, which I dig, to be honest, because it means that we have to form our opinions based solely off of what's actually in the bottle. Which is good, although it is fun to have a laugh at some of the nonsense they write on these bottles sometimes, isn't it? That's always fun. Okay, well, let's go for it. It just kind of smells like a double IPA. That's not a bad thing, because it is what it is, but you know, to impress me, a double IPA should seem Moorish. And this has that quality. Maybe I just have a drinking problem, I don't know. Actually, I think it's a safe bet at this point, isn't it, really? But so there's sort of like this salted caramel beginning, and then that very quickly takes a total left turn into this slightly acerbic kind of bitterness. Yeah, bitterness, that's the word I was looking for. The hops are quite aggressive, which I'm actually quite into, to be honest. It feels a little bit rough and ready, and it's just like this dry, lingering bitterness that stays on your palate. Yeah, it starts out with like a malt sweetness, that's what I'm trying to put my finger on. Kind of like Ovaltine and salted caramel. I'd imagine that'd be a great combination, actually. And then as the flavour dissipates, the bitterness just stays with you. It refuses to go anywhere. It's like if... Actually, this is something we can all relate to for a change. You know, when you put hand sanitizer on, you rub it in, and then later you might, like, I don't know, be snacking on something, and you like put your hand in your mouth. It sounds like something disgusting that we shouldn't do, but we all do it because we're humans. And then you remember you had hand sanitizer, and that like weird, slightly unpleasant, bitter flavour that you get at the back of your throat. This. I will say, even though it is incredibly bitter, like if you were a fan of bitter flavours, this is so your jam. It doesn't taste strong in regards to alcohol strength. It's 9.2%, but you wouldn't know it to try it. But yeah, that bitterness is something else. It's almost a little bit acrid, but it's the sort of heavily bittered funk that you want from a double IPA, because it's kind of its credentials. It's kind of what proves, hey, I'm a DIPA. This is me. It's a little bit lacking in terms of other flavour characteristics. It's strong, it's bold, it's brash, it's shouting at you, it's orange, and it won't go away. It is good, but it's a little bit simple. I think if you were introducing somebody to double IPA and they liked bitter beers, this would probably be a good jumping on point. But I do miss some of the more complex flavours that you sometimes get with double IPAs. It has a degree of Moorishness, but it fades really quickly to this overwhelming bitterness that is a little bit... It's a bit much in some respects. It's not... how to describe it, really? It is a slightly acrid kind of bitter. It clings to the roof of your mouth, and it's... I don't know, you're kind of done with it after a while, which again... cometh the hour, cometh the man, but... Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. It's good up until you sort of get bored of how bitter it is, so you go back for more of it, and then the cycle kind of repeats. How many tweets out of 5 would I give this? It's a 3, I would say. It's a good entry level to a double IPA. It has a good overall flavour, nothing remarkable, but a good overall flavour. It is bitter. The bitterness lingers a little bit too much, I would say. In that it just kind of... It should dissipate more than it is. It's almost like it's digging its claws in and it refuses to leave. We've spoken about that already, haven't we? But yeah, nothing wrong with it, quite faultless and readily available as well, which helps. Comment down below, have you tried any... Actually, what's your favourite double IPA at the minute? Or have you seen any beers that are taking pot shots at politicians? There's bound to be one or two out there, isn't there? Thumb this video if you enjoyed it, and do join me next time where I'll be drinking something else.